Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of SIG Node CI subproject. It is, what is the date today? Wednesday, April 20th, 2022. We have some agenda items for today. The first thing on the agenda, I want to make a brief announcement. So I am going to be stepping away a bit for the duration of the 1.25 release, taking a little bit of a Kubernetes break. And so as a result, some of the stuff that I work on in the project, including leading this subgroup, I'm hoping to make sure that those things keep moving smoothly in my absence. So I would like to step down from co-leading this group. It's effective basically now because we're coming into the 1.25 cycle, and I'd like to nominate Danielle to step up to replace me to lead the subgroup. So Danielle just became an approver in the test info repo. Congratulations. I mean, Danielle, I hope that this is something that you're excited and or willing to do. I think you'll do a great job, and I think you've been very active. So yeah, that is my announcement. I'm hoping to just take a little bit of a break, and I have some medical leave coming up. So yeah.
Thank you for setting up all of the things and doing all of the things. And I hope you get a good break.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been going through the list of things on my backlog, and there is so many things. So I'm trying to spin off as many as I feasibly can to make sure that they don't get dropped. So I guess I've been doing this for a little over a year, and I'm very excited to be able to pass on the hat and make sure that stuff keeps going and not just sit here and do all the work. So
thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
I'm not ready to make any announcement, but I might be taking some time off as well during this time, during 1.25 for personal reasons. Yeah, welcome, Daniela, in a new capacity. Anything else on this topic, or we can move on?
I don't have anything. I'm going to maintain probably, I won't go approver emeritus or anything like that. This is mostly just, some project leads are weird. It's kind of a very informal thing. And so, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that that doesn't get dropped. And I'm very excited to be able to see others grow and get the opportunity to lead.
Cool. Okay, next topic. This is from Deems. Deems started this effort of analyzing all the CI jobs across all the everything related to Kubernetes, and he published this document with many jobs that are failing for many days. Some of them are deceptive, 15 days, but it may be they're failing all the time. It just we only have results for 15 days. So it's not surprising list. I think we're tracking all the SIG Node related tests already, and we know about those. We know reasons and why nobody looking at that, or who is planning to look into that kind of things. Yeah, I think we found at least a couple that is surprising in this list. I think I pointed Brian. Hi, Brian. You're McQueen, right, on Slack? Okay, so yeah, I think one of the jobs I found interesting here also was making container D there in the name. It's surprisingly, I mean, it's not a SIG Node tab, but it's somehow related, so maybe interesting. I don't know, you want to say something?
Yeah, I feel like you're giving me an assignment. Oh man, I watched the videos. There's a lot of stuff I got to learn before I can be useful around here. So I'm going to look at it. Don't expect me to actually fix anything at this point.
Cool. Arnaud?
Yeah, I just want to clarify the A4 here. Basically, the initial focus of that initiative is basically focused on job failing for more than a year. Because we have we have jobs failing for 3 years nonstop. So the main focus is basically all the job failing for more than a year. Everything under 19 days is not really relevant in that A4. So we don't want to spread the A4. We want to focus on long-term or perma failing jobs.
To that
So-
note, do we in SIG testing, is there any tracking of past failures of the jobs?
We don't. I mean, we had an issue. I think maybe a year ago about this in test infra, but it was more like an umbrella issue that to track down all the perma failing jobs. So basically, what DIM is trying to do here, and basically this is my understanding, is reach out to the different SIG and ask them to care about the jobs. Like you need to basically go through the test grid dashboard, check your jobs and see what's failing for more than 90 days.
Yeah,
Fix
but
that.
some
Either
jobs
remove that or
don't have
fix that.
90 days of history.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible to extract the data, but you need to be a BigQuery expert.
I see. Okay. So I think we have most of the jobs tracked already. So SIG Node is in a good shape. But yeah, if you're interested, I started systematizing this test, but like, I mean, some of them Windows, some of them like Azure and such, but I haven't finished it yet. So maybe when I have like more systematic list of extra jobs that may be relevant to SIG Node group, I can publish it somewhere on Slack.
Yeah, the best way to do that is to go through test grid, because the JSON file will not help you track down what is related to SIG nodes. Or maybe the name of the job will tell you, oh, this is SIG node, but it's not really easy to track down those jobs related to a specific SIG. That's why you have to go through, not you have to, but the best effort for this is to use test grid as a way to better navigate those failing for. Basically, first list all those failing and make a match between the JSON file and the list you have.
Makes sense. Okay. So yeah, this is it. So if you're interested in like looking into some extra jobs, please do. But I think on our board we're already tracking quite a few failing tests. So I mean, if you're interested for SIG Node specifically, you can look at existing issues as well. Okay, next one. Yeah, this is interesting. In CRI tools, I don't think we own CRI tools as I think as SIG Node we own CRI tools. We never discussed it in this group before. So apparently all the CI jobs were failing for a long time. And I wonder, and this is not part of Pro, like this, all the jobs here are controlled by like this GitHub Actions. It's a GitHub workflows. So I wonder if we want to bring this back into this group at some point to extend the scope. Same way as we have some interest in C advisory, we have some interest in NPD, some interest in CRI tools maybe. So this is something that we may consider to add back. Is there anybody interested in looking into those and like tracking it as part of this group? No, not much interest. Okay, let's see. Like I will double check with the maintainers of this CRI tools. Like I don't see much activity there, and it doesn't break too often. So maybe we don't have to discuss it in this wide forum. Not everybody interested in CRI tools.
So Sasha is on our team at Red Hat, and so I can talk to him about this one.
Thank you. Yeah, and my question was like, do you want to bring it to this group and track it here. But I think if there is not much interest, we can just do it on like maintainers of this group mostly.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So what about? So this one is, what is this? Okay. So this is a release block and bug. Just to give a small update here, we have a release block and bug with summary API when network stats are empty and it's flaking. So we try to reproduce it. We have quite a easy way to reproduce it on the regular PRs. Like if you just open empty PR and you keep doing like testing this job, it will fail at some point. On PR with logs, like with a little bit of logs, it also failing. With PRs with extensive logs, it never failed yet. So I think we need to start narrowing down and like removing logs out of it. So far, it doesn't. I mean, it's very unclear why it's happening, and like code analysis didn't give any good results yet. So something bad with infrastructure, it seems. Because it seems that code is working as expected. But yeah, I think we need to start breaking down these log statements into smaller log statements and try to reproduce it. I remember Mike was saying that he was able to reproduce it locally. Mike, did you try it again?
I tried again, but I wasn't able to reproduce it again. Yeah, this stuff is weird. I can give it another shot.
Thank you.
By the way, I wasn't able to reproduce with logs, only the regular state.
Yeah, it seems that it reproduces quite. I mean, not easily, but like at least like one time out of 10, it will fail for sure. Okay. And yeah, and this is Daniela going to approve her. Yay! Congratulations.
+1.
Yeah, I put a hold for Derek just in case. I don't expect any issues with that. Ilana, if you can pink, like poke Derek a little bit.
Yeah, I'll see who I can put. Murnal's on leave this week, so I think he's coming back next week. In case we're waiting to hear from like if we're waiting on every single approver, then it might take a little bit.
I think I would expect chairs would be enough for the subgroup, but it's fine.
Yeah, then that should be fine.
Yeah, we are at the end of agenda. If anybody has any more agenda items, please speak up. Otherwise, we can go to test grid. I think Chidong, did you fill it up this week? Can you give us an update?
Oh yeah, I filled up this week. So let's see. For the couplet test, this same last week. The 1-to-1 got fixed with one of the PR, but the PR was supposed to fix both Ubuntu and the Fedora. I think a new issue came to the Fedora showing SSH error. You can take a look at that pull request. So it's still failing for Fedora case. Yeah, see the maybe we should create a new issue to track the SSH error problem.
Yes, that would be nice. Thank you.
I will do that. Okay. And for continuity test, it's same as the last week. I just put a link here. I was looking into the fix for performance test, as you mentioned before, for the CNI init error. Yeah, but it's still work in progress. I try to make.
Yeah, I submitted PR for CNI issue switching to master, and I broke performance tab completely. So yeah, I will need to double check and fix it up. So I think that I forgot to pull containerd sources, but I will double check and see. And for performance test, I also found an issue. Let me see. So it's beyond CNI. So CNI is something that we need to fix across the board. So just to give some update here is this, like we have different ways how we use containerd. Some tests use master containerd, some tests use specific version of containerd. And in this case, we pull sources of containerd and build it locally and configure it on GC nodes. And some tests using this image config file, they use pre-installed containerd on Ubuntu or COS. And this pre-installed this image file defines some configuration settings to override configuration of this pre-installed containerd versions. And this configuration seems to be wrong. So at a minimum, for some reason, after this configuration steps, we have unconfigured CNI, which is bad. Like some tests doesn't care about it. Some tests just like pass even without CNI, but some tests fail horribly without that. So we need to fix that. I started with performance tests to try to switch it to master, but in some cases we may need to decide to, like, if we want to just use pre-installed version, as a minimum it's faster. So yeah, Chidong, maybe you can sync up later and understand what maybe the policy here. Like maybe we can write it down and decide when we use pre-installed version, when we use compiled version, and how do we decide?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't still understand why the CLI config is missing. In either case. Okay. Yeah. I'll follow up.
Yeah. Another problem with this test is our image config doesn't include this, like cloud init logs from user scripts are not written into cloud init log file. I think we're missing some statement in image config, but I'm not sure. So we cannot even check logs if everything just worked correctly as we expected.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll go back to the doc. Let's see. Cryo, it's same as last week, and also a new. I want to call out. There's a new failure for the serial cryo. It has been failing, I think, for a while, but we lost track for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me create a new issue for that.
Okay, so we mostly just was saying same as last week before.
Yeah, same last week, but
I see. Okay.
But we didn't notice there's a serial cryo failure. Yeah, for a while. Okay. Next is cost. It's also same as last week. And I couldn't find the actual issue for the cost flaky one. So the previous issue seems close and a little unrelated.
Yeah, let's just create a new one since we are currently in this investigation stage started by SIG testing.
Yeah. For supervisor, there is a new test failure since April 15th. I created an issue for that, and I'm looking at that. I will work with David for debugging the test failure. Yeah, there are a few failed test cases.
It was green for a while, and yeah.
Yes, must be some changes in test code or supervisor code. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's.
Thank you.
The other are they're green. Okay.
This is cool. Any questions about test grid and status of our test grid? Thank you, Chidong, very much for filling this up.
Sure.
Performance. I don't expect any changes since we don't do anything in product code. So yeah, it feels okay. Okay. And memory. Everything is expected. Yeah. As expected, nothing changed. So it's good. And we need to do some triage, but we have nothing here. Did we not add anything?
It's
Yeah,
been pretty quiet because of freeze, so it may just be that there's nothing to do.
Yeah, maybe I was just me. Okay, we could just skip it then. Okay, and do we want to go to bugs? Anna, do you want to take a last day of your and lead us
Sure,
go through
why
the
not?
bugs?
I love bugs. Who doesn't love bugs? Let's see, what do we got? No bugs.
Sorry for putting you on the spot.
Oh, that's okay. I think at least one of these bugs I like pulled in. So let's see. That's not the button I want. No bugs. See, add some cards. Oh, we got more. Look at all these bugs. Okay, well, get rid of this. Go. Okie doke. Let's take a look. We got 7 bugs. Okay. Bus error core dump. I remember what happened with this one. Somebody had stuck a kind support label on it, but then a bunch of folks on here are saying it's an actual bug. So it's quite old. Somebody has a reproducer, which is pretty cool. I reopened it because someone asked for that. Let's triage accept this. Maybe let's put help wanted on this. Hurrah. Pods are in running terminated state even after the expiry of shutdown grace period during graceful node shutdown. I feel like we had some sort of change for this behavior that went in this release with a possible configuration thing for what the terminal state should be, but I don't think that applies to, oh, these are looking at, those are daemon set pods. Does anybody know if daemon set pods actually get like evicted or whatever?
I think they all do.
Yeah, I think that's normal. I'm maybe gonna CC David Porter on this one because I'm not sure. I think this is the correct behavior. Also ping Shuming because I think he also. Okay. CPUs allocated for guaranteed QoS pod are not released when the pods are deleted. Okay, so we've got a policy. I don't know if this is enough information to debug, but I suspect it does. I'll CC Francesco and is there anybody else I should CC on this? Maybe Kevin. Is anybody on the call who wants to be pinged on this one? No. Hewlett ignores node labels passed on the command line after restarts. I think that's expected.
I think for subset of nodes, not for all the nodes.
I feel like I might be wrong, but I feel like the node is only supposed to be able to set labels on itself when it first joins the cluster, and then after that you can't set them through the command line. Like this is intentional behavior, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think I even have documentation about it. Updated on
If you could,
yeah.
If you could send me a link, then I can just close this. Do you have the link, or should I just CC you to confirm?
Pasting it now. If you go to the node there.
So the self-registration of nodes.
Yeah, and a little bit further down there is a node.
Oh yeah, the
node.
note. Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. See note in. Not a bug. Thanks for having that handy. Okay. When node in memory pressure, static pod enters error status after node reboot. Oh, that just sounds like a bug that I've fixed. What version is this? 122. Yep. Let's see. I'll just assign this to myself. Okay. Next, create static pods. Pod manifest path has been deprecated. Oh, that's just like, this is kind of. What do we do about this one? Because like we haven't really made a decision as a SIG as to what we're doing with like deprecation of command line flags. Like we've discussed it, but then we just really haven't taken a stance on it because we don't really have the resources to migrate everything.
When people file PRs, they usually get merged. We just don't really care, as I think the
Yeah.
And config is currently in beta, right?
Yeah.
It's a tradition in Kubernetes to migrate to something that is not stable yet. Not marked as stable.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mess
I
up.
mean, it's a config API, so like it matters kind of a little bit less because like config APIs aren't like serialized and like are never going to support like multiple formats simultaneously usually. So okay, this has been previously discussed with the SIG. Migrating off of command line flags is a backlog item. Other components have a similar problem. For the foreseeable future, the command line flags will definitely work and continue to be supported. We are ensuring any new command line flags are added as config options and attempting to migrate over any flags that are not currently supported in the config API. So while technically deprecated, I think this is still okay. It would be great to have docs for both. Hurrah. We can let SIG docs triage this, I guess. I'll just triage accept it because otherwise it'll sit on our backlog. Okay, last one, inconsistent pod status reporting with kubectl get and describe. Deploy pod in a cluster, pod image download takes some time. I check pod with kubectl get, pod status is container creating, sure, yada da da. When I check the pod with describes, pod status is pending. Oh, I see what this is. This is like a SIG CLI thing, yeah. We've previously had some similar issues with this display for get pod. See also, I'll go just try to dig up this issue because I think I followed it. Author me. So slow. Okay. 6Y. Where is it? This one. I think we should accept this because this is just like CLI hasn't really caught up to the pod lifecycle refactor. Okay, that's all, folks. I think, oh, what did we do with this one? Oh, right, I was supposed to close this one. So I'll close this one later. Do we want to go through, see if anything's gotten updated? I'm just going to trust to look at only the ones with notifications. I suspect a bunch of these just got stale from the bot, but okay. This is a feature request, so ignore that. We'll removing stale and a PR that I think is just never going to merge, but I guess they can continue to hope. That one looked like a can of worms, so I don't want to open it. Stale bot. Dalebot and an email. Dalebot. Oh, there's some stuff here. This says that they tested 122.4. The bug is still there. Okay, and we put needs info on this because oh, lots of pods in the same PVC. Seems like a weird use case. Okay. Anything else we want to go over?
No, not really.
Not really. Okay.
Brian, do you have any questions since you're new here? Otherwise, we're about to end the meeting.
I want to thank you for patiently helping. I'm going to read some more and I'm going to try to look at some of these things. I just don't want to pretend like I'm going to fix anything. I'm going to jump in and start trying to figure things out. So maybe next week I'll have a practical question.
Okay, and feel free to ask on Slack as well. Some people are monitoring Slack and can answer there.
Yeah, we're delighted to have you, and there are no dumb questions. So anything you want to ask, we are happy to help you out with.
I wanted to say that you do a great job running these meetings, and first time here, I'm sorry to see you going. I'm sure our next chair is going to be awesome, though.
Thank you. I'll still come to meetings every so often, just not probably over the next release, because I am taking a well-earned vacation from Kubernetes, I think. But you know, project's going to go on. I've been doing this for 4 years or something like that now. It's been a long time, not with Node specifically, but upstream. So yeah, and I'm very excited to see Danielle step up. So.
Okay, then let's finish the meeting then.
Sounds like that's a wrap. I will see you all sometime, but I hope you have a great rest of your week. Peace.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.